If anyone who thinks that whatever Miss Panton is accused of doing, if in fact she did anything could be done by her alone, must still believe that the world is flat. How could any government in their right senses possibly think that the failure of a licensed institution to repay 200 investors whose money has vanished could become an issue of national secrecy?
Bless up, ABR family and viewers. Welcome back to the channel. It's a girl and Isabel Rose. And in this one, amidst the so-called turn of events in the SSL saga, we see them trying to mix up the opposition leader, the Labour right minions, trying to mix up a Mark Jefferson Golding, saying that he and the recently charged persons are friends. But it is evident that they are friends with this current administration, and we are about to prove it. And also, I'm going to take a step back even to Mark Golding's stance as it relates to corruption. He spoke out in the 2025-2026 budget debate, as well as we seen the St. James Health Department stating that they will be renting 15 garbage trucks for cleanup effort. Please stay tuned for the details at hand. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. So now, ABR family and viewers, we have looked at the charges for the 3 persons in the recent turn of events at the Stocks and Securities Limited fraud saga. And one in particular we're going to zoom in on a bit is Zachary Harding. And we see them are trying to mix up the original Mark Golding into them passa and trying to state that Mark Golding and these recently arrested and charged persons are friends. But we are going to run back, we are going to go back down in the history, and all of these things are on Google, and you can Google it for yourself, right? So the former CEO at SSL was charged, arrested basically, and then, granted station bail of 1 million, right? And as you can see here upon the screen, it says the Harding family connection. Zachary Harding is the son of Oswald Ozzie Harding, a former senator and chairman of the Jamaica Labour Party. Ozzie Harding was one of only 2 major directors alongside founder Dr. Paul Cheng Young, who were significant shareholders in the Eagle Group of companies. Zachary Harding later became the CEO of Stocks and Securities Limited, a firm with historical roots tied to the Chen Young financial network. So if him father was a big Labourite, what you think? The whole of them aligned and associated with the Jamaica Labour Party. So don't mix up Mark Golding and all the thing. This same man was affiliated with whole heap of campaign. They said he was campaign strategist to a whole heap of them, advisors to a whole heap of them, even in the Jamaica Labour Party and even in other countries, other Caribbean islands. According to Cayman Marl Road, it said that he was the former PPM campaign strategist. And it reads, the former SSL CEO Zachary Harding was also a past campaign strategist for the People's Progressive Movement in the Cayman Islands, a figure whose influence spilled into Cayman's 2025 general election. Harding played a key advisory role during the PPM's campaign operations. He was reportedly involved in efforts to undermine Cayman Marl Road and its host, Sandy Hill. including producing and circulating videos and online content aimed at discrediting her platform and advertisers. Hill publicly addressed these attacks on her talk show, The Cold Hard Truth, after what she described as coordinated attempts to damage CMR's credibility during the election cycle. Harding also made public appearances during the campaign, including attending the launch event for former Savannah candidate Josh Parsons, who was later dropped from the party's slate following CMR's investigative report detailing Parsons' extensive history of domestic abuse and allegations. So them man, they behave powerful, because them been a dibble and dabble in whole heap of elections because them money tall up to the sky. So the need for Lego Mark Golding's name out on a careless mouth. Remember, they stated that this current administration couldn't release a Crow report because it would have messed with the investigation and messed with others being arrested and charged. Now that the others have been arrested and charged, a full time now them Lego the Crow report. And Mark Golding have been calling for them to release the Crow report and to release the SSL report. Because I cannot understand how is it that them blame the People's National Party's government for the 90s meltdown when some of them players did it back then and wreck the whole financial system and cause the meltdown. Right? Hence, FinSac did have created for reimburse and for seize a whole heap of assets from some of them thieves there back then. Right? And now SSL occurred. And we see that this government lift up the directives and give SSL the go ahead to continue using people's money. Right? So till over 200 investors flees. And the minions them don't want us to lay the blame at this current administration. You gotta be kidding me.
I turn to the fight against corruption. In the debate on the bill establishing the Integrity Commission, Prime Minister Holness said, and I quote, "As a politically independent country, we could have achieved much more were it not for corruption in many forms. Revenue leakage due to corrupt practices, misuse of public funds, and the overall perception of pervasive corruption, all of which have served to compromise the flow of investment into our country." End of quote. Then he continued, and I quote, "The Economic Growth Council, which he had established, has also recently identified corruption as a significant retardant to growth." End of quote. There is no doubt that a major factor why, notwithstanding all the economic reforms implemented by Jamaica since 2013, growth remains elusive. Mr. Prime Minister, you signaled it. Corruption. Corruption is a big factor in that. The SSL scandal has rocked Jamaica's financial system and tarnished our image with investors. We again demand that all reports into what happened at SSL, including the Kroll report and the temporary manager Ken Tomlinson's report, be released to the public so that the sunlight of transparency can bring a better understanding of how our sprint icon, Usain Bolt, and hundreds of others got fleeced in SSL. Mr. Speaker, I commit to establishing a commission of inquiry into that matter, focusing also on the regulatory history and how it is that a licensed institution was able to carry down so many investors for so long. It is unprecedented in Jamaica. This was nothing to do with the economic issues of facing other dealers or the market generally. This was a specific problem in that institution. It should have been addressed and it wasn't. The opposition and the wider society remain very concerned about the Prime Minister's situation. He has been the subject of extensive investigations by the Integrity Commission. The report resulting from that investigation contained findings which the opposition and many Jamaicans find troubling. The report called for further investigation by the FID, the Financial Investigation Division, and Tax Administration Jamaica. The Prime Minister has responded by taking the Commission to court, seeking to strike down the legislation itself on which Jamaica's anti-corruption framework depends. In the meantime, the Prime Minister's statutory declarations of assets, liabilities and income for the relevant years remain uncertified by the Commission. Mr. Speaker, this is an untenable situation and it goes to the heart of governance in the country.
So hear this now with the massive pile-up of garbages all over the island, especially down in the western side. We heard the government boasting that they have basically gotten 200 million worth of new garbage trucks. After we hear say them left the garbage trucks them pan field and have to flood out during the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Only about 2 of them, with them even take garbage trucks from Westmoreland and them other parishes there for go sort out over St. James. Right? We see now that the St. James Health Department renting 15 garbage trucks for cleanup effort. What can really go so? What is the NSW doing? Why money affair come from the municipal corporation for rent 15 garbage trucks? Now, NSW fi sort out all of that. And might I add, we the taxpayers want to know who owns those trucks that they're going to be renting. So the article from the Gleaner reads, Lennox Wallace, the parish manager for St. James Health Department, says the department is arranging to rent several garbage trucks to carry out its own waste collection in sections of the parish, a move bolstered by concerns about uncollected waste before and after Hurricane Melissa. Wallace said the move, which will include rental of 15 garbage trucks and 2 loader vehicles, will not be a collaborative effort with any other agency. We will, he quote, rent trucks and loaders to do our own collection of refuse because right now we cannot depend on the NSWMA. Because of the proliferation of garbage in the area and the inability of the NSW to collect same, it will be a health department initiative, not health department and anybody else's. And it will start on Monday, December 29 and will run until the end of January. In some communities like Farm Heights, it was 2 months before the hurricane wherein you did not have any garbage pickup. Now you have a proliferation of rats. And if you look at the areas like Hart Street, you would see the garbage pile up and hence you have the rodent increase. And I believe that every parish should have at least 10 to 15 trucks in order to remove the waste and garbages from residents. Right? So them boasting after them wreck the NSW. Right? Make the trucks them mash up so they are boasting about spending 200 million. How much truck them get for that the 200 million there? A whole heap of wastes are going under this current administration. But what says you, ABR family and viewers? I don't believe that the municipal corporation should even be renting any trucks. I don't believe that. But what says you? Leave your comments in our comment section. Like up the videos. Get this video to at least 7,000 likes. Remember to share out the video as well. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe on the road to 50k. Help me to get there. Stay tuned for more videos. Stay tuned for more updates. Big up on yourself.